What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes episode 86, the David Patton episode of Tuck Rule Takes. I am Mike Sullivan. With me, as always, my two Patriots life goers, life partners, Big Al, shirtless Liam. Liam just getting back from schooling some people. I say people because I don't want to say how old the kids were he was playing. Schooling some people in basketball. Again, we are Tuck Rule Takes. We're here. If you're wondering why it's a little bit of a late episode this week, well, you know, we are clowns. We thought that we would wait until one DeAndre Hopkins showed up and hopefully signed. This did not happen. Unless you're listening to this and it did happen, then we look like clowns. But
even bigger clowns.
Yeah, bigger clowns. But yeah, I think we just got to get right into it. So DeAndre Hopkins showed up yesterday. Met with whoever, stayed the night. Who knows whose house he stayed at? I don't know. Mac Jones. Did he stay at Belichick's house? Did he stay in the guest room? I don't know what he did.
If he stayed at Belichick's house, he was staying in my town.
He did. Maybe he would. That'd be crazy. And showed up today. All the reports is interest kings. I was just saying to Al before we started recording, where I get it. Everybody's interested in everybody. The Patriots are interested in Hopkins. Hopkins is interested in the Patriots. Judon, Mac Jones, they're all interested in Hopkins. Hopkins interested in being everybody's interested in everybody.
You don't fly halfway across the country if there's no interest. You're fucking. There are interested parties here.
You don't. So yeah, I think that's where we're starting. So he's left Foxborough. I guess he's still in the area. That was like an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago, that he was still in the area. Assuming he's still there. If news breaks while we're recording, obviously we'll chat about it then. But guys, DeAndre Hopkins came and went. Opening thoughts, and then we'll just kind of shoot the shit about this. Maybe hit a couple other topics at the very end just to dabble in them. But I feel like this is going to be a Hopkins heavy episode. So how do you guys feel? Hopkins came and went. No contract.
I have a question for the two Hopkins optimists, because I have long jumped off of the ship. If this was a cruise, I would have got bored and hopped off and tried to swim back to shore. But you guys, you're enjoying the amenities. You guys got some excursions down the road. I want to know how you guys are feeling more than me, because I have egg on my face. I wrote this off months ago.
Al, you go first, my friend. Explain ourselves, and then I'll go.
Cautiously optimistic. That's, I think, the expression. Cautiously optimistic.
I mean, how cautious can you be when he was here for 2 days, though? It's like...
He was here for 2 days with the Titans, too. He was in Tennessee for 2 days. So I think that there's a lot of factors here, right? I know we're going to talk about them more. I think when you factor in the fact that he was in the locker room with Judon, he takes that picture, he puts it on Instagram. I think when you take into consideration that we've talked about this many times, the Patriots offer the three things that Hopkins is looking for: a stable young quarterback that loves the game, a championship caliber defense, and a stable coaching and management staff. You have all three things that you're looking for. And not only that, again, the Patriots have the cap space to bring in DeAndre Hopkins. And then on top of that, so to put the cherry on top of the sundae, if you bring in DeAndre Hopkins, you can make moves to get that salary cap back up. If you want to make smaller moves, you can get rid of a guy like Devontae Parker and save $6 million in cap space.
Kendrick Bourne in my eyes, but I know you favor him a little more than most.
You can get rid of.
I was going to ask you guys later. We'll talk about. Yeah, I was going to add. We'll embrace debate later about that.
Sorry. And not only that, right? You can offer the chance to be the focal point in the offense. All the crap about O'Brien and Hopkins and this animosity, it was just a bunch of garbage. That's all it was. When you put everything together, and then the biggest thing that nobody talks about is the mutual respect between Belichick and Hopkins. They briefly discuss it, but it's not talked about enough. These two have a genuine love and respect for one another. Hopkins loves Belichick. Belichick is enamored with Hopkins. So guess what? That's the case. this deal should get done, and it should get done quick, because hot take, if the Patriots don't get this deal done by Saturday, June 17th, I don't think Hopkins ends up here. I think they got to get it done this week.
Okay. So you're putting a deadline, a little bit of an
I am
ultimatum.
putting a deadline.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we know the Patriots, they don't wait around. It's either, all right, we're interested, but we're not going to play this waiting game. It's either you come to us or good luck.
I want to play a little devil's advocate here, though, because you said I think it's been a huge talking point that Belichick and Hopkins were all lovey-dovey making out before the Cardinals game during the season and whatnot. That was why we're favored to get him when we cut him. I think that's a big talking point. But for him to be the focal point of our offense, and you said that would be like a big attractor to come to the Patriots, I don't think he's the focal point. If we got prime Terrell Owens right now, it's still a running football team. So I don't think he'd be the focal point, but he's by far the best receiver that we'd have. But I don't think that's a huge thing. Like, I don't think DeAndre Hopkins, like, if I go there, they're going to throw the ball as much as the Bills. No, they won't be.
Yeah, I think. No, go.
Do you think, to that point, do you think DeAndre Hopkins would rather be in a situation where he knows that he has good opportunity to get a lot of catches, a lot of receptions, and make a good amount of money while doing it and being an active part of the game plan? Or would he rather go to a Buffalo or Kansas City where, yeah, they're going to win. Like, they're going to win a fair share of regular season games. And yes, they're going to have good offenses, but he's only going to be a small piece of the whole puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think Hopkins, at this stage of his career, being 31, and he doesn't have many years left, he still wants to be a dominant wide receiver. And he sees in New England, I agree with the running football team part. They are going to be a running team, especially with Ramondre Stevenson, especially with the likes of
back in the league,
Kevin Harris and Pierre Strong and everything else. Like, yes, they're going to be a good running football team still. But to get the passing game going, you don't like Juju. That's your thing. I get it. It's fine.
It is my shtick.
Yep, that's your shtick. So who's going to be the number one? I know Kendrick Bourne, I've said, can be a vital part of this offense, but Hopkins.
You're skipping right over Devontae Parker. He was a fine number one. He smoked the
they're
Bills
not,
in the second game.
But they're not going to keep two of the same wide receiver, because Hopkins is a contest type of receiver too. He goes up, he gets those 50-50 balls, similar to what Devontae Parker does in a given offense. And plus the number, like, it's a numbers game. It's who can save the most money. I think Devontae Parker, you get rid of him, will give you more room in cap space than if you got rid of Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, 100%. I think the volume would be bigger on the Chiefs. Like, he would have more involved role on the Chiefs. Much like I said, if my argument for Juju was he had those numbers on the highest passing offense, his numbers aren't going to be like that on the Patriots. I have to be consistent. That same thing holds true for DeAndre Hopkins. If he goes to the Chiefs, he's going to get more catches than if he comes to the Patriots. But I believe if he comes to the Patriots, he'll get 3 to 5 catches a game. He'll have some games where he has more, some where he has less, but he can extend his career and be a huge impact player, not a high volume, 7 for 110 and a touchdown every week like he would on the Chiefs. So I think it would be a smart move for him, but I just don't think he gets like all the catches that he probably wants.
So to your point, Al, when you said that he'd be a focal point here, I think it's tough. It's tough for any receiver or really any offensive guy to be the focal point. But I think where kind of the same thing, but like kind of parallel to that point, he knows that Bill O'Brien, for all the shit that they've been through, Bill O'Brien knows how to use him. So I was just looking up when Bill O'Brien was with the Texans from 2014 to 2020, when DeAndre Hopkins was there as well. DeAndre Hopkins, when Bill O'Brien was there, never had less than 76 catches, or other than 1 year where he had 954, he never had less than 1,200 yards. So in his last 2 years with the Texans, he had 115 catches for just over 1,500 and 104 catches for almost 1,200. So I think Hopkins can at least be like, okay, even if I'm not going to be the focal point, at least I know that Bill O'Brien knows how to use me. And then I'm also with Bill Belichick, who what's one of Bill Belichick's things? He knows how to use players. He gets the best out of players. So I think like as much as like the Titans, yeah, he went there or whatever, but like you know, almost like why would you want to taste the store brand when you have, you know, the, you know, brand name in Belichick? You know, why would you want to taste the store brand in Mike Vrabel when you have the brand name, the actual, you know, get the Kraft mac and cheese. Don't get, you know, whatever mac and cheese. Go to Bill Belichick.
And let me say this about focal point. My definition personally of focal point is the guy in the offense that you need to worry about week in and week out. Because remember, what did a lot of defensive coordinators that played against the Patriots in 2022 say? There was no guy that you really had to worry about. So it made it a lot easier to game plan. Nobody could get open. Jacoby Myers was the number one receiver, and as good as Jacoby Myers was last year, this year,
the ball to the other team.
He was literally throwing games away. Literally. Yeah. So again, that's what I mean by focal point. Just the guy that defensive coordinators have to say, we cannot let this guy go crazy. Because you bring in Hopkins to the Patriots, immediately defensive coordinators, especially Miami, Buffalo, and with the Jets, are going to be like, all right, Hopkins is not going to go off against us in either of these games. That's the whole point.
He is a distraction. Him being on the field, you're like, all right, whether he's in his prime or he's out of his prime, it's still DeAndre Hopkins. Randy Moss on the 49ers, if he ran deep, you sent double coverage toward him, even though he was super old and he probably wasn't going to kill you, just because it's Randy Moss and teams still fear him.
Yep.
So I do get that. I think there's a lot of merit to that. And we're fans. Like, let's be realistic. He's not going to the fucking Texans. If we as fans can see that, or the Titans, I mean, if we as fans can see that the Titans aren't a good situation, you think some dude with millions on the line is like, maybe Will Levis can throw me the ball.
And Hopkins missed.
Tannehill.
I know. Yeah. Hopkins missed half the season last year, and he still led the league in receptions.
Yeah.
That shows you how talented he is.
Yeah, he still has the skill. So just
playing with like Colt McCoy and like these Brock Osweilers and all these other quarterbacks.
Come on.
No, come on. No.
Colt McCoy's on the list.
Let's not start this.
Let's not use that as like a fault.
Colt McCoy's on the list.
He is on the list. Of course.
Name me 5 teams in the NFL that Colt McCoy could start on right now.
Pick 5 off the top. I would start him over at 80% of the league's.
Okay, all right. We're not getting into a Colt McCoy.
That just that he just proved my point.
Besides Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, I'm starting Colt McCoy over everyone.
You're starting him over Justin Herbert.
Fuck yeah. Justin Herbert blows.
Okay, we can move on with this conversation.
So my thoughts about DeAndre Hopkins, I did a lot of thinking about where I sit with this. I think he's signing with the Patriots. I think it is all but a definite thing that he is. You know, there's obviously like the small details, like the picture with Judon, where it says, you know, La Familia. You know, you don't call someone
that's a big selling point.
And it might sound stupid, but it's big. Like I asked you guys, and he posts pictures with the Titans, anything like that. I mean, did you guys see any Titans players tweeting at each other, being like, "Yo, we got to go take them to dinner," blah blah, like Mac Wilson and Judon and Trent Brown were? I don't think so.
The only thing I saw was the limo that they picked him up in that said DeAndre Hopkins in Tennessee.
Cool, bro. I've been in a limo too. Have you ever been to the 99 in Boston? I don't think so. Go to the 99 Boston. Take your fancy little limo.
Well, great boneless wings there.
Tips and tenders, bro. Tips and tenders. Come on.
16-ounce Bud Selects for $2.59 too. I get rip roaring drunk and make a fool of myself.
And then also, which I don't know if you guys saw the reports. There's a bunch of reports like things that may have happened, didn't happen, or whatever. But I guess he spent a lot of one-on-one time with Bill Belichick. It's fucking huge. It's huge because for him to be there for so long, because he was there for a while. I know it was a 2-day trip, little vacation, but he was there for a while. You know, there's really not much to do in Boston, in Foxborough. So if you're going to stay there for that long, you're there for a reason. You know, you're not there just to look around, say hi, shake hands, kiss babies, and leave. He's there. He's going over shit. I guess there was, Rob Ninkovich's podcast said that they had him working out a little bit. Who knows if that happened?
They said they put him through a full regimented workout.
Are you guys gonna work out for a team that you don't plan on signing with? Like, you know, what that goes to as well. He said he wants a quarterback that loves football. You're going to a team. This is supposed to be, you know, the fluffy meet and greet. You know, we fucking give you reach arounds. We bring you to all the good massage parlors, all that. But no, what are they
Kraft
doing?
knows.
Belichick's like, nah, baby, this football season. Go run a few routes. Let's see how it looks. Like that. I think someone like DeAndre Hopkins would like that because it's like he wants to play football. I think he even said, he was like, you know, it's really not all about money. He's played with good, bad quarterbacks, whatever. He just wants to be somewhere where he can get a title. So I think this is a good spot for him. But yeah, the whole thing.
That's an excellent point. I like that a lot. Where we're not whining, dining, and stand up 69ing the guy. We're not picking him up in a limo. It's like, come here, play some football. Let's see how you look.
Man, we're not
here
about
for
the
business.
frills, dude. Like, and I think that's it. Like, you know, other than, I mean, sure, like, you know, I'm sure that they showed him the renovations. Like, look at this big ass fucking screen. Imagine you catching, you know, a game winning touchdown going up on there. Crowd fucking loves you. We'll take you to, you know, Fenway. You'll sing Sweet Caroline throughout the first pitch. You know, everybody will. I don't think, I feel like they had to somehow get across, or he has to know how wide receiver starved this fan base is. Yeah. If you come here and even perform a little bit, we will. This is the same fan base that held on to N'Keal Harry Hope until like the last half year. Like, dude, imagine DeAndre Hopkins coming here, and then you're here. You got you know. I'm sure Kendrick Bourne was in the building. You got someone who's fun like that. Juju's fun. I'm sure you know a lot of players seem to like Juju, so Hopkins probably like that. You know. Like Mac Jones is silly as shit, loves football. Mac Jones is probably the one throwing a ball. You know, dude, we'll go paintballing after all this shit. So I say all that to say DeAndre Hopkins is signing with the Patriots. I think it's definitely happening. I don't know when. I know the reports out there that like he might want DeAndre Hopkins might want to wait until training camp or something. I think that's all lip service. I think that's all going back and forth. I don't put any real credence into that.
And to your point, Mike, too, just real quickly, and to your point,
you're good.
Mike, in training camp, think of all the fans that come out to training camp and they want to see the big names that are on the field, right?
Yep.
Who are the names on offense last year that you were really excited to go see? Like Jacoby Myers, yeah, okay. Ramondre Stevenson, great. Mac Jones, great. DeAndre Hopkins, like, you want to bring like your little cousin, you want to bring like your family or whatever, your little brother, sister, whatever, and be like, hey, we're going to go see Ramondre Stevenson today. Or, hey, we're going to go watch DeAndre Hopkins catch some passes. DeAndre Hopkins is a name that gets people excited to come out and watch the actual product. Literally gets the people going. Yeah. But really, it would get this fan base, it would give them a little more hope. And when was the last time the Patriots really had a true, legitimate number one receiver of this caliber? Randy Moss?
That's what I was going to say, Randy Moss, because you'll say, you know, Welker, Edelman, those are Patriot number ones. You're talking about a number one receiver.
A bona fide stud.
Randy Moss, 2007.
And that was what I was going to say. When was the last time the Patriots got like a premier free agent? Like the last one I can think of is Corey Dillon, and that's fucking 2000.
Back in
Hunter Henry might be the only one that might fit that mold, just like, because he was.
I love Hunter Henry,
the big one.
Yeah, like, and I really liked him in San Diego. And Jonnu Smith was like equally as big of a signing as Hunter Henry in my eyes, because I was hyped for both of them. Obviously, one's way better than the other.
Yeah,
but
well, one's still
but like realistically, like free agents don't come to New England, like the big name stuff like that, like Chad Ochocinco maybe, but that obviously blew up in our face. Like this moves the needle, and it's after Tom Brady. So the Patriots have a unique opportunity to start fresh in a complete clean Tom Brady free slate and prove that they can get the big free agent. I don't care if he's 31. Yes, he's older. I still think he could have one dynamic year and then still be serviceable for another year after that.
Yeah. And I think you sign him 2 or 3 years. I think that's a good one. Trade him in the third year or some shit, whatever.
True. Let's think about this too. When he went on his visit to Tennessee, did we really see any like big time pictures? Did we really see?
Dude, we saw nothing.
Right, and also,
who's he going to take pictures with? Mike Vrabel's the only one I can think he'd want to take a fucking picture.
Yeah, but you can go to like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's what I was going to say. Oh yeah. Let me go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No. Instead, he's over here in He goes to Boston, you got Juju showing him TikTok dances. I'd rather that. I'm sure he's more up into that than like, yeah, let me go look at fucking George Strait playing guitar in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, there will be no TikTok dancing going on.
Here's a cowboy hat.
No.
Here's a cowboy hat, DeAndre. Tuck your braids into it. What the fuck?
I mean,
I don't think TikTok dance is much more appealing.
When you look at the whole situation, and Mike, this might be something you might want to look up real quick while we're talking about it.
Gotcha.
Where is the Titans defense compared to the rest of the NFL? The Patriots
2022.
Yeah, the Patriots defense is a top 10, and this year in 2023, with the additions in the draft and everything, they could be a top 5 NFL defense.
Oh yeah.
You're telling me Hopkins, again, wants a championship caliber defense? I think a top 5 NFL defense is a championship caliber defense. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas.
I would say
this isn't gonna blow us away as much as we thought, but I think that kind of the last games or whatever were kind of shitty. But team defense overall, the Titans were 15th, the Patriots were 11th. But
okay, but even so,
but I mean, for what the majority of the that's something where the majority of the year, the Saints are technically more. Wait, hold on, what the fuck? Yeah, the Saints technically have a better defense than the Patriots, but like,
they had a pretty good defense. I wouldn't say it was better than the Patriots.
They did.
But they
How
did
about
a good defense?
In every statistical category that means anything that I'm looking at, the Patriots are ahead of the Titans. So that's all.
How about scoring defense? Scoring defense, I think the Patriots were number 1 in the NFL, and they blew everybody away last year in defensive points.
Yeah, hold on. Shut the fuck up.
I mean,
actually, no, don't shut the fuck up. Keep talking. I'll figure it out.
Just using the eye test, like it was clear. Plenty of defensive touchdowns. We had Marcus Jones, who had fucking the special teams touchdown, the pick 6. That alone, I don't exactly go by the numbers most of the time. Like this Patriots defense, as it normally has always been, is locked down.
I mean, just listen to this defense, and not that they'll all be on the field at the same time, but listen to all the options you have.
Yeah.
Jack Jones, John Jones, Marcus Jones, Christian Gonzalez, Keon White, Christian Barmore, Lawrence Guy, if he ever gets out of his holdout, which I know we'll talk about later. Matt Judon, Jabril Peppers, Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar. There's a ton of talent on that defense.
The Patriots were the highest scoring defense last year.
There you go. So you're on the highest scoring defense, and if you bring in Hopkins and you can just accelerate into a top half of the league, you don't even have to be top 10. Give me 13th or 14th in the league in total offense. That team is a playoff team.
Yeah.
Buddy, let me tell you, I had some hot takes to fire off if DeAndre Hopkins came here. So I'll just say that the airwaves right now are lucky that he did not come here, because I was coming guns blazing. The takes are still in the chamber. They're still ready to go. But yeah, it's just the Patriots in every category that he wants. They beat out the Titans. I don't even count the Titans. Since we're talking about the Titans, Al, we'll talk about kind of what something that we said we wanted to talk about too. Liam, I'm sure you saw this too. The Titans extended their contract to DeAndre Hopkins at some point, a couple hours ago, something like that, right?
Yeah, coincidentally, while he was here.
I think, if anything, this is a panic move. Yeah. I'm sure whether they're just kind of their front office are like, guys, we gotta get something out there to him, or Hopkins' agent, texted them, reached them out while Hopkins was in line at Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. His agent reached out to Tennessee, was like, hey, things are trending in the right direction here. If you guys don't have any real resistance here, there's nothing stopping. So I think the Titans were like, this is what we're going to do. If they send something out right now, the Titans do not have, there is no world where the Titans have more money to offer DeAndre Hopkins than the Patriots do. It does not matter, because whatever they do, even they go, 7 million or something, 7 million and change.
Yeah. 8 million. Yeah. Right around 8.
Okay, cool. Even if they make some moves to do whatever, the Patriots can say, cool, Hunter Henry, Judon will extend you. Hopkins, when you sign here, we're going to get rid of Parker or Bourne. We have more money. So now what? Like, what's the next obstacle we have to overcome? There is no obstacle. Getting him here was the biggest obstacle, I think. Having him choose us as an option, as opposed to us choosing him, because obviously the Patriots had interest in him. But now that there is that buzz phrase, mutual interest, I don't think there is anything stopping the Patriots other than some dark horse team that comes out of nowhere, or just the waiting game where DeAndre Hopkins and his agent, because it is his agent's job to get him the most money, regardless where DeAndre Hopkins wants to go. Like, I'm sure there's the waiting game now where it's like, yeah, this is what Tennessee is offering us. I just saw like half an hour ago, there still is no contract from the Patriots extended to Hopkins. So I'm sure they're waiting on that. They're going to look at both of them. The Patriots were the Titans probably just helped out the Patriots because they were probably waiting for the Titans to send a contract so they don't outbid themselves. So now they know what they're up against. All signs, every single road right now goes towards DeAndre Hopkins being on the New England Patriots to start the 2023 season. This is where I will say, Al, you said this a while ago. If the Patriots do not get DeAndre Hopkins, then that will be a valid criticism to them. Towards
yes,
them. Unless there's some injury that we don't, or barring some crazy situation, if the Patriots do not get DeAndre Hopkins, it should be a shot across the brow to everybody involved. They should be getting him right now. There's no reason.
They have the complete competitive advantage.
Everything in every single aspect: money, team, atmosphere, players, fun. It seems like. Fucking, like I said, it sounds stupid, but like DeAndre Hopkins, these athletes use their social media very, very strategically. You're not just going to post some shit for no reason. You're not, a 19, 20, 21-year-old going out drinking. We're just going to post a shit ton of stuff up there. It's not what happens. It's not what happens. So he posted that he's hanging out with Belichick. They're going through workouts. Once fucking, little tiny boy Robert Kraft gets in there and starts schmoozing them, bringing the jet. I mean, I'm sure he has this locker like all set up. You're right next to Mac Jones, right in between, whoever the hell, wherever you want to be, dude, wherever you want your locker, that's where we'll put you. DeAndre Hopkins is coming to the Patriots. He has to.
So this is kind of a novelty, but I love numbers, so I feel the need to ask, what number do you guys think he would take? Because obviously 10's off the table.
I got
single digits.
I have, in my opinion, strong opinion, the perfect contract for DeAndre Hopkins. It's perfect.
Let's hear it.
2 years, $24 million, guaranteed, incentives up to $12 million a year, with incentives up to 15. So that's, receptions, maybe touchdowns, maybe a playoff bonus, which would have it be 2 for 30. And then you can pick up a third now. And then with the third year, you can either do it as a player option or you can do it as a team option, whichever one. That's the contract.
That's the contract. I wasn't even going to go as in depth as you. I think that's perfect, but I guess it was out there he wants somewhere between 8 to 10 million base salary, and then incentives after that. Do that. See,
I thought he wanted Odell's number. I thought he wanted what Odell got.
Well, I fucking hope not, because Odell's overpaid.
Includes incentives though. So I'm sure. I'm sure. But honestly, I don't give a fuck. I do not care. Dude, just pay the man. Just get him here. Honestly, if you have to pay him, like you said, $12 million a year. Cool. Then incentives to get it up to 15 each year. Awesome. Great. I don't care. The Patriots have the money. They have what we say, the third most next year and the most the year after that. Borrow from those years. I don't give a shit. And anybody, and Al, I mentioned this to you, Liam, this conversation is going to come up. No matter what number they eventually sign Hopkins at, it's going to be, they signed a 31-year-old receiver and they gave you gave them that. What does that say about your head coach's confidence in your team right now? No, shut the fuck up. That means that they're going to pay a premium to get a receiver, because guess what, guys? The Patriots aren't that far away from being great. Assuming Mac Jones is really the biggest cog here. Yeah. Assuming he starts to go forward, the Patriots are set up to win for a while now. So DeAndre Hopkins is a great fucking runway to that. Dynasty 3.0 is coming. you assholes. Like if he comes here and I'm trying not to fucking blow my load right now, but like, I mean, shit, like it just, so I don't care. Al, I'm right there with you. 2 years, 24 or 2 years, 12 million per, incentives up to 2 years, 30. Cool. Love it. Sign on the dotted line. Let's fucking go get some culottes. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just, it almost seems too like simple, but I just don't see, if you're just a person, why would you want to go play with the Tennessee Titans? Derrick Henry is going to be gone soon, whether injury or the
is he
team's trying to
taking
get
any
rid of
other
him.
visits? There's no way it's just between.
There's
them.
nothing
else
scheduled now. And I
There's-
think Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was one of the Big J journalism, big names. That's what I mean by Big J journalism, is making sure, just for clarification, the big names like Rappaport, Schefter. One of them, I think it was Rappaport that said he wouldn't be surprised if Hopkins had no more visits after New England.
I think it was Rappaport, which makes sense. I mean, and again, that kind of makes me laugh because it's like, okay, so the reports are out there that you want to wait, a while, take your time, but you have no more visits. No teams have leaked anything.
Yeah.
No travel has been set up. Like, let's cut through all the bullshit. Guys, it's very simple. It's the Titans or the Patriots. He spent more time here, it seems like, and if you're a person picking between the Titans and the Patriots, and you are a 31-year-old receiver, these last 2-3 years are going to be probably what people kind of, especially if you win, like this is kind of like the bow on your career. Do you want to spend it with the Titans, with Ryan Tannehill and Malik?
Who's probably not even going to be there after this next year? They were trying to get rid of Tannehill all last year.
Exactly. No. Why wouldn't you come play with Mac Jones, a stacked running game, great other receivers to play with, a great tight end, and a
good offensive
leading
line
defense? Yeah, like
let's not get crazy.
Everything.
I said good, not great.
Good. I'll settle for good. But it's just like everything. And especially the money. Then it comes down to the money. The Patriots can offer you more money. I fail to see the reason now that DeAndre Hopkins does not end up on the Patriots. Like, I am ready to get hurt.
To play, 100%. To play devil's advocate, like, if he wants to wait, like, you never know. Fucking the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill tears his ACL in camp, or like, a team like that where somebody goes down, then I can understand. But that's like, I guess it happens every year, but you can't count on it happening to a contender. Do we really think he'll wait out for that? He could. I absolutely have. Obviously, we have no inside news on what DeAndre Hopkins' mindset is.
No.
But if these are the only 2 visits, like you just said, all signs. If you're making a pros and cons list, the Patriots are all pros with very little cons, and the Titans are mostly cons with not any pros. Like I can't think of.
They're a good team. Like they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say he'd be the definitive number 1 in Tennessee and get all the catches, but they're a running football team like us. Like, their receiving core is worse than ours. Yeah,
get all the catches on a shitty team. Like, he did that twice. You know what I mean?
And
so
who is
like, you got to look in his mind. I don't know.
Who is the wide receiver on Tennessee? Was it Treylon Burks or whatever?
Treylon Burks,
yeah, that was like
going to be the number 1.
Well, he's like
Robert Woods isn't there anymore, is he? He left, right?
No, I think he's in Houston, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think he is.
But even with that, right? How many Tennessee guys were really like happy that DeAndre Hopkins was visiting? Like, you didn't really see any, active recruiting or any, optimism that he was being there. But then look at the Patriots. Look at all the guys that said that they wanted him there. Matt Judon, obviously, with the social media interaction. Mac Jones in press conferences is saying he'd love to have, DeAndre Hopkins on the Patriots. Kendrick Bourne, and he might not even last if Hopkins gets signed. Is like, D-Hop, come on over. Let's win this thing. Come on. Like, I didn't see any of that from Tennessee. Nothing.
No.
Mac Wilson,
and I don't know what more Judon can do. Motherfucker lays it out there on the line every offseason. He needs to get a recruit just for his own.
To get something. I think, and if he does, if this is the guy, like, did you guys see Mac? Yeah, I think so, because I think we sent it in the thing. Mac Wilson posted the upside down smiley face. Like, he was definitely there. The dude sitting there tweeting to Judon, like, bro, let's go. Like, we're going to Foxborough. So I'm sure he was there. Like, he understands. And it's like, what? Like, come on. Like, it's
I
gotta
am
be
looking at the
something.
Titans receivers right now, dude. These are terrible names. There are
It's just
two
what's his
that I
name?
or three that I recognize. Traylon Burks, who was their first round pick last year, and then after that, the only recognizable name is Chris Moore, who's been a journeyman. I liked him out of Cincinnati, but he hasn't really done much. And Nick Westbrook, Ikine or whatever. He's like a special teams guy. Other than that, these
I
are
don't even know
all
who those two
relevant.
guys are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I remember watching them in the draft, but other than that, like, they haven't done anything. And I'm looking at this: Jacob Copeland, never heard that name. Colton Dowell, never heard that name. Kyrus Johnson, that person doesn't exist. Mason Kinsey, Racy McMath, that's a made up name. Kyle
That's
Phillips,
not a real person.
yeah. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, these are all no one on this roster is balling out other than Traylon Burks. Motherfucker's gonna get a lot of catches, but
Yeah, but then it's also like, do you think does Hopkins want to at this stage in his career be the guy who not just like the number one, but does he want to be the guy who has to carry a wide receiver room? I'm not
yeah.
saying that does he want to get a lot of targets? Of course he does, but does he want to be the guy where like there's so much pressure. If he doesn't have a good game, the team's going to lose, and then everybody's going to talk shit about him. No, that's not going to happen in New England, because if you don't have a good game, there's Kendrick Bourne or Devontae Parker. And right after this, I want to get into who you guys would want to keep or let go. And then there's Tyquan Thornton. There's Juju.
Belichick takes all the blame anyway. Belichick's
exactly.
Like, I didn't prepare a good enough game plan. You're like,
and then some games, dude, Mac Jones might only throw 20 balls because Stevenson's got $150 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So like, it seems like
7 of those catches are going to Ramondre too. Motherfucker does it all.
Yes,
I love Ramondre.
He can catch now. You got Ty Montgomery too. My God. So who, if you guys let's just assume. Well, actually, no, because you have to talk about money. So you get a little bit more, like what, $1.5 million more or something, if you let go of Devontae Parker. But then Kendrick Bourne, it's like 5 and change. Devontae Parker, it's like 6 and change, right around there. If you guys had to pick, because I'm assuming this decision is going to come, because if DeAndre Hopkins comes here, you're not keeping everybody. You can't. It's just you're trying to juggle too many plates. Who out of those two would you guys want to get rid of, and why?
Al, you got this one.
Parker, because of 3 reasons: the money, the injury history, and believe it or not, Juju Smith-Schuster right now being injured is actually going to save Kendrick Bourne, because Bourne can play more in the slot if need be until Juju gets back.
Isn't that all Tyquan Thornton does anyway, though? Like,
I mean, but even so, they could use Thornton on the outside if they want to try to get, the deep ball if they really want to. So I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying that's an option.
But see, I'm going Bourne.
I think it would be Parker.
Yeah, like Parker is reasonable because like the injury concerns and the money, I get it. But I feel like Bourne's been kind of the odd man out. I've certainly kind of expected him to be gone by this point, and like I kind of expect him to be
As
gone.
Did I, yep.
If he stays on the roster, I'd imagine he'd be gone this season. Like his time has been underwhelming. Yes, he could probably be the better, more reliable receiver injury-wise, but if you get rid of Bourne and you still have Parker and Parker gets injured, we have 6th-round rookie wide receivers for a reason, and you would hope that they step up and do their part, and I think the Patriots believe in these guys, so it gives the younger guys a chance if Parker goes down, and he's the better player. Like, I don't care if they do the same thing, Hopkins and Parker, if they're the same type of receiver. Stack talent. That's what I believe. I don't really care about fit. I don't care about scheme. If they can both do the same fucking thing. DeAndre Hopkins was on the team with Andre Johnson. They both did the same fucking thing. They're possession receivers. They're big body guys. They're going to get the ball. I'm not worried about the fit. I want the better player.
Yeah. So I can see it from both sides because, like you said, Devontae Parker, DeAndre Hopkins, they do similar things. Devontae Parker's injury history.
Be the tiebreaker here, Mike.
And then
tell Allie's wrong.
And then there's Kendrick Bourne, where it's like, yeah, like Tyquan Thornton, you want him to develop. He's probably going to take over that Kendrick Bourne role a little bit.
Who are you sending off the island?
So I'm gonna drag it out for another minute. So
build the suspense.
So let's say Kendrick Bourne gets hurt, right? So what
Which
do you
has
do?
yet to happen.
You put in Tyquan Thornton, right? So okay, that's a decent second year guy. Hopefully he makes maybe one of the rookies. You kind of plug them in.
Yeah.
Devontae Parker gets hurt. You put in DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, or not even put him in, but just like you kind of fill that void with him. And then you get more time for Tyquan Thornton, and Kendrick Bourne gets a few more, gets a little bit more play. And then you got Booty. You still got Juju.
You do have Booty.
I'm gonna get rid of Kendrick Bourne for two reasons. For my love for Tyquan Thornton, because I think that between Bourne and Thornton and Hopkins and Parker, I'd rather have Bourne gone to give Tyquan Thornton more time to develop. Because now I'm thinking longer term. So it's like, cool. So Tyquan Thornton develops. He eventually gets another contract. So when Hopkins is gone, Thornton steps in as that number one receiver, maybe. Who knows?
I loved what I saw from Parker too. Like, no, let's not pretend he didn't ball out against the Ravens.
When he was healthy,
crushed the Bills in the last game. Like
he was very good.
His best game has been better than any game Kendrick Bourne has had. And when he was the number one receiver, he did toast the Cowboys. He had a good game against the Saints 2 years ago. He's had good games. I like his style. He's got swag about him. No game has been as good as Parker.
Stack them.
Game is anywhere close.
If you have DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Parker on each side, you have Juju kind of in the slot, Tyquan Thornton in the slot on the other side. You still got Hunter Henry on the field. What the fuck are defenses going to do when you got Hopkins and Parker running deep routes or deep ins or deep outs or whatever? You got Juju doing a little thing over the middle, Thornton running, and then what does that mean? Hunter Henry just leaks up. Like, there are so many things you can do. Put Hopkins
and Mike Gesicki's in there too.
I fucking forgot. Could you imagine putting DeAndre Hopkins and Parker on the same side of the field?
Yeah.
You have the top corners over there, and then you have whoever, Kendrick Bourne, Tyquan Thornton, whichever one, Juju on the other side. You split Gesicki out, so now he's on a line that mismatches. That's all Bill O'Brien does. I like Kendrick Bourne. I do.
Yeah.
But I would rather, gun to my head, I'd rather keep Devontae Parker, because even if he does go down, which he inevitably will, cool. So DeAndre Hopkins just ups his value. Like, you know what I mean? And then you kind of slot everyone else around. Juju, Tyquan, Kendrick Bourne, like Gesicki maybe is more of a receiver for those few games. Like, it's a tough decision. Money wise, it's kind of close. So to me, I'm kind of like,
that's
whatever.
My point. The money's so close. It's funny money at that point where it doesn't.
It's
really
important.
Matter.
It's important, like Al said, but still, when
it's
you're getting down to the very
difference,
nitty gritty, I don't know.
Yeah, you can make a case. You can make a case for either receiver.
Yeah,
you really
no, you can. Yeah, no, you definitely can. And I think it's just I would just love to have Parker and Hopkins on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
Just both of them, big body guys, contested catch guys.
Like I said, just stack the talent, complete the infinity gauntlet, whatever analogy you want to use. I want the best players on the field. And this is uncharted waters, at least in my Patriots lifetime. I know, Mike, you're 55, and Al, you're slightly younger than that. So you guys may be different, but in my lifetime, the Patriots have only had small receivers. So if we're rolling out the 3 starting lineup receivers of Juju, Parker, and Hopkins, they're all fucking tall. Obviously, one of them's useless, but they all have size.
And then split Gesicki out there.
Yep, who's only a receiver, so he's another big body out there. Yeah,
giants, and then Thornton with his sneaky little wrists.
Oh. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So I really like the potential. It's just fun. Like, I'm not a huge video game guy anymore, but if I was like cranking this team on Madden, like the possibilities are endless. The plays you can run, it's just fun to think about how much, I guess, versatility would be like the buzzword I would use to describe this, but there's a lot of potential here.
And if you're trying to cover them, oh my God. And then I'm thinking there's so many options. So what happens when you put all those guys on the field, right? Receivers, big guys, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Mac checks into a handoff to Stevenson. He blasts up the middle for 14, 15 yards. God forbid he breaks one for a touchdown because that's what he does. This,
Yeah.
the titillating feeling that this offense is giving me. Like I told you guys, I texted you earlier. I got the tingle in my balls, not just about DeAndre Hopkins now, but just about this offense as a whole. The defense, I'm not worried about, which makes me worry now because, like, shit, is something going to happen with them. But like the defense, I'm not worried about. Special teams, we got the nerdiest kicker in the league, kicking the ball a billion miles in the air. Like I'm cool. I love the special teams. Offense is where this team is going to be
it's
made
the clear,
or broken.
like odd
Yes.
man out. The defense is stellar. The special teams look stellar. Fucking better be after last year. The offense needs the improvement.
It's the offense and DeAndre Hopkins. Because I would have been happy, going into the season without Hopkins. It's like, I'm not as elated, but just like, okay, I think, the offense is going to be good. It's going to be, definitely better than last year, serviceable. It's not going to lose you games. But if you get DeAndre Hopkins, we're talking, and I forget which one of you guys said it, but we're talking playoffs. I'm not
I think it was me that mentioned it.
I'm not convinced the Jets or anything. Dolphins and Tua, okay, sure.
Tua will be dead by week 5.
And then Buffalo, still a good team, even though their star receiver doesn't want to be
fall
there.
Off.
So
they'll win 5 games. They suck.
Well, I mean, you have the teams that are definitely going to be in it, and we're gonna put Buffalo in it just for shits and giggles. Now, you got Buffalo, Kansas City, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson,
Bengals.
The Bengals, obviously, Chargers. Would you throw them in most likely? And then what? And then who? The Patriots. The Patriots have to be in that conversation. You could say Jacksonville. You definitely can. Calvin Ridley's coming back. Trevor Lawrence, but it's still Jacksonville. I feel almost about them how I do about the Jets. Vegas is trash. Vegas is going to be nothing. They might not even have a starting quarterback. So the Patriots, I think even without DeAndre Hopkins, they should make the playoffs. They should make it. But with him, I think it is almost a certainty that you are making the playoffs.
I mean, we've been able to talk ourselves into the offense without DeAndre Hopkins. So now that the potential is back, obviously that's why we're all sitting in a puddle right now. But the offense alone without him, it's vastly improved. We're all fired up about it. So they have a unique opportunity here. You just hope they close.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I just keep checking to see if there's any news breaking. There's nothing. We got a couple of things we can touch on. Do you guys have anything else on DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, I think let me ask you kind of a fun thing. He comes in here, and I saw this around. Where do you guys take him to lunch or dinner?
Santarpio or Regina Pizza.
Santarpio. It has to be Santarpio.
That's the first one you guys think.
My grandfather.
I like Regina personally.
My grandfather and my dad used to always take us there as a kid because whenever my grandfather would come up from Florida or whatever, we'd go there. Then afterwards, my grandfather would drive us around and be like, so this is where I lived here. This is where, I witnessed a couple of shootouts here. There were mob bosses in the barber shop here. All this
very
stuff.
North Shore.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. But Santa, you hit up there. I mean, obviously you like coffee. We got coffee. Do you want, we'll swing by Fenway just to see, just to get him ingrained in it. Selfishly, 99 is my favorite restaurant. I'd say, buddy, we're getting you tips and tenders.
What about historic Boston landmarks, like the Barking Crab, places like that, on the water in Boston? I mean, a little. It's fine. It's fun, but I don't know. I had something and I fucking lost it.
Or just go to the North End. Take him into the North End.
And that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. Take him to the aquarium. Do you like?
The tall ships place that every basic Instagram broad takes their pictures at. There is a lot. 100%. Yeah.
There's a lot, and then not just appeal. That. I feel like the bigger thing too in taking him to all these fucking places, right? What do you see when you're going out here? All you see. Boston had Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics, Bruins. It's like, dude, you are coming.
It's literally a staple of everyone's outfit.
You aren't coming to a normal. This would be if they let fans sales pitch him. It's like Mr. Hopkins. You aren't coming to a normal sporting town or city. New England is how many states? 6?
Yeah.
Right? 6, something like that. There's really only a few that matter, but you are coming to a region who religion's cool, college football is cool, but sports and specifically the big 4, that is New England's religion. You are coming here. If you play well, which you will, I know you will, we all know you will become a legend here. And God forbid you bring a Super Bowl here. Do you understand the love
worship
that this town gives you? Let me get you in contact with David Ortiz. Let me get you in contact with Kevin Garnett, who can tell you how passionate this fan base is. Let me get you in touch with Julian Edelman. In fact, he's right around the corner. Like New England, it is something what we offer is something that fucking Tennessee cannot offer you. Like I said, take your
You're
cowboy
gonna have
hat.
whole
That's cool.
states behind you, supporting you. You'll have Mainers, Vermonters, the New Hampshireites,
it's
all
huge.
over the place. Rhode Island, very small and insignificant, but they all bleed Patriots.
Take them to Robert Kraft's Cape House. Like you are coming somewhere that you cannot get this experience anywhere else. And if you succeed even a little bit, you will be put on this pedestal that does not exist anywhere else in America when it comes to football. I know
what
other
they should
sports
do
are
is have him walk through Boston with Randy Moss and just see how many people look at Randy Moss.
Another one.
Oh my God.
Another one.
Because it's literally his position. He has the most touchdowns for a wide receiver ever. He did it for the Patriots, and just let him see as Randy walks through downtown Boston, all the people that are like, holy shit, Randy Moss.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear real quick Hopkins' career stats against the Patriots?
Yes.
9 games, 602 yards, no touchdowns, 1-8 record.
Oh, fuck.
Buddy, if we know how to beat you, we know how to use you. Okay?
Yes.
You can't beat him, join him.
Damn.
I'm telling you,
100%.
guys,
That's an awesome stat.
If you can
Who
get
does that?
him,
You think Yahoo Sports for that one?
Judon talking to him. Dude, I didn't even think New England was going to be shit when I got here. I was like, what is this nonsense? Judon's our biggest fan now. You got
now
all
the fuckers out there recruiting
coming.
everyone.
Yeah. Dude,
it's
the
a
more
no-brainer.
I think about it, it has to be. The only way it wouldn't be is if the Patriots shoot themselves in the foot and don't pay them, but I don't see that happening. They have no issue paying people. It's just they want to pay the right people. You saw it with Juju and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
They just want to pay the people they want. And DeAndre Hopkins, not only does the team want them, the big thing, Belichick wants him. Belichick wanted Hunter Henry too. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he got
what
him.
happened? He got him. Like when Belichick wants you, you are powerless to his wings.
Yeah. You guys remember when Rodney Harrison came? Did you ever see that interview when Rodney Harrison came to the Patriots? He said he was sitting, and I forget what the restaurant was with Bill Belichick.
The Ground Round or Ground Pound?
Yes, the Ground Round.
Ground
Yes.
Round.
I used to love that place. Okay,
Yep.
I'll get your
Ground
mind out
Round,
of gutter. This is a children's show.
Coming from the two guys that like to talk about booty. Yeah, okay.
That's his name. That's his name.
Yeah. Look at the way that you guys talk
sick.
about
You are
it.
sick.
You
You are
guys
sick.
You guys are nuts.
Pal. Come on, you're supposed to be the second most mature one here. This is pathetic. But,
and who's the first?
It should be him, but it's not.
Oh, it's not me.
It's definitely not. Yeah.
I'm
still
saying
win.
it should be, but
anyway,
yeah,
the Rodney Harrison thing.
But
Before we got
sidetracked. So
by
Rodney
Al's
Harrison talked
buffoonery.
about it was in that America's Game documentary. I don't know if you guys ever watched those.
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
that
yeah.
year, probably 2004, when the fucker had 2 picks off McNabb. I'm not salty about that, but friggin' eat shit. But Rodney Harrison sat down in a restaurant with Bill Belichick, and he was like, Bill captivated me. He had me on the team in that meeting. And Bill just spoke to him, and he was like, hey, the rest of the league hates you. The league hates us. We've won 2 Super Bowls, but we lack grit. We lack intensity. My players are soft. I want you to come and kick the shit out of our players and kick the shit out of the other team. And he was like, all right, I'm in. And you got to think he gives a similar sales pitch to DeAndre Hopkins. He's like, did you watch our wide receiving core last year? We sucked. We were fucking terrible. And you need to come in here and you need to show these motherfuckers how to get open. Show them how to run a comeback route. Show them how to burn somebody deep, because we had no passing game.
I don't know. It's just going to be interesting. So we'll see. I agree. I think the seeds have been planted by everybody. Mutual interest, mutual interest. So it's a waiting game now. If we had to say before we move on, I guess we don't really have much, but I guess I just want to throw a couple things out there, a couple minutes each, if that. But when do you guys think he signs? Let's just assume he's going to. When do you think he does? I know Al, you gave your deadline. I know.
But I'm going to change a little bit. I'm going to say Sunday afternoon.
I like Saturday. He wants to
Saturday.
announce it on a day so he can go out and get rip roaring drunk.
Yeah, I think tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night it happens. Yep. Yeah. I don't know when. I just think a little bit after that, because I think it's like, you know what, we're gonna sign you, hop it. You know, go celebrate. You know, you got 4.5, 5 weeks off till training camp. You got your playbook. Go do your thing. We trust you. You worked out for us. And again, I think that's why he supposedly may have worked out. You're not going to see him for 5 weeks. So let's.
So you think Friday?
Mike? Yeah, I think tomorrow, because tomorrow's Friday,
okay.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we all think different days. How about a friendly $5 wager here? And if he doesn't sign in those 3 days, no one wins and the bet's called off. But if he signs on our day,
I'll Venmo it. We'll do it live on here. We'll send it over. Yeah, excellent. I like it.
Yeah. Just for the fuck of it. And the winner, me, is gonna get $10. So why not?
Yeah, so I don't I guess the only other thing I wanted to touch on, because again, I don't know. Liam, you didn't hear, fucking dead tired. Working out there in 102-degree weather, running around delivering all you motherfuckers your Amazon, your goddamn Amazon.
You
packages.
have my pity. Oh,
you should.
God,
I mean,
so
I should have you. I am 31 years old. I shouldn't be out here being a slave to you guys. Yeah. James Robinson gone. Quick 1-sentence thoughts, and do you think that the Patriots need to add another running back?
It was expected, and no.
Yeah.
I'm bummed because I was fired up. I love James Robinson. So no, I don't think they need to go get another running back because they have $1 million on their roster anyway. But it's just a shame. Like, I really liked his skill set. It must purely be an injury thing. There's my run-on sentence.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what it came out as.
Hey, tomorrow maybe.
I kind of sit.
Little Pat McAfee.
I kind of sit in between you guys. To me, it's kind of a nothing here or there. Would have been cool to see him. Watching all his highlights kind of got me all jazzed up, but it is what it is. I don't think you need to add another person. You got Kevin Harris, Pierre Strong, who I guess is, getting some play. Pierre Strong, Ramondre Stevenson, and Ty Montgomery. That's a solid 3. Kevin Harris is in there too, if you want to kind of mix him in, and JJ Taylor's still on the roster. So
holy shit.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Other one, Tyquan Thornton, I guess, kind of nursing like a shoulder injury, I believe. I know OTAs are over. You got 5 weeks to training camp. Are you guys worried about that? Is this going to be another one of those? He has a great OTA and then this lingering injury, a la Jalen Mills with his ankle. Remember that, Liam? Our fucking ongoing thing with Jalen Mills. Like, so do you think this is going to be an issue, or do you think, it's really just a big nothing burger?
It's a nothing burger.
I hope so.
I think it very well could be something. I'm dealing with a shoulder injury, have for a while. I have like a weird little bump. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but shoulders are like backs, where they're injuries that are very sensitive and they linger for a long time. Wide receiver, it's not a whole lot of contact, but I don't like it. He seems like, this was my worry when he came out of the draft. He's skinny. He doesn't have a great build. Like, whether it's a shoulder injury that hampers him or it ends up being something else, I feel like he's got such a small frame that he's always going to get hurt with something. So I'm concerned, maybe for the shoulder injury, maybe for him as a whole. But yeah, I'm definitely like weary.
Yeah, he put on a little bit of weight. You could kind of see he bulked up, as did Kendrick Bourne. He bulked up a little bit too. But yeah, I think, you got 5 weeks. You shut him down the last day. I think it should be fine. I'm not worried. Now, if it comes in, he comes into training camp and he's still, red-shirted, not really practicing that much, then I'll sound the alarms. But I'm expecting big things out of Tyquan Thornton. So, lastly, for the Patriots, and Liam, you can also give your thoughts on the second thing I'm going to say. Lawrence Guy, I guess, is holding out. And then there's also another guy over in Buffalo that held out and then I guess didn't, and then I guess did, and he's back, is Stephon Diggs. So How do you guys feel about Lawrence Guy kind of holding out, which is kind of out of left field? I don't think anyone expected it. And then if you do have any thoughts about Stephon Diggs in the Days of Our Lives soap opera he's got going on in Buffalo.
I gave you guys my thoughts on it. Lawrence Guy is not an integral part of our defensive line anymore. I didn't realize he was as old as you guys told me he was when we were talking in the group chat. There's no reason for me to think that this team should keep him, especially with the way the Patriots have been. They always cut players like this. If he's going to be like this with 2 years left on his deal when he's so old, not worth the trouble. Get rid of him, bar more time.
Yeah, and also more money in salary cap that you can use.
Yeah.
And then with the Diggs thing, real quick, I mean, he missed a day. He came back. Like, I know it's Buffalo. I know they're, interdivision rival. I get it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was really hoping there was more, but
there's not a lot.
So, with Lawrence Guy, he is 33, crazy age. Yeah, if he gets cut post June 1st, it's 3.3 million bucks gets saved, it looks like. Unless I'm looking at it wrong, which I don't think I am because it's not in parentheses, so I think we should be good. Yeah, I think Barmore, I don't think the injury last year for him is a big thing, so I think he's going to stay healthy. Yeah, Lawrence Guy, wrong time to have a holdout when we got someone like Christian Barmore who's coming there, who's ready to go. Carl Davis, Devin Godchow too. So I mean, you got people there. And then also, you got what's the name, Keon White, who can he's a fucking massive human. So, you can put him there too. Yeah. I'm not, it would suck to see him go because he is good, but it is what it is. And with Stephon Diggs, I mean, shit, that Bills dynasty window really closing a little bit.
Slammed closed.
You got
Joe
Josh
Burrow
Allen.
put a quick end to that.
You got that pissed off Al. He left. Yeah. You got Josh Allen saying that
Al's
he's gonna
close too.
Josh Allen said he has to change. He's going to change the way he plays. You can't keep playing like this. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, getting all pissy and all that fun stuff. I don't know. I think they lost their offensive coordinator too, didn't they? If I remember correctly in the offseason. I don't. Their fans complained about weather, about having an outdoor stadium. It seems a little crazy. Seems a little crazy, man. I don't know.
Rome might be falling.
Yeah, bro. And then obviously the biggest thing, Josh Allen on the cover of Madden.
Yeah.
Madden curse. Like this is the
they're
start.
Fucked next year. You can chalk that one out.
The Madden curse works in mysterious ways, and I think it's already starting to do its thing. It's just sowing the seeds. It's like, listen, you thought
sowing
that you were
seeds
the team.
of chaos in there.
Exactly.
Hey, he's back.
Exactly. Al, just to tell you what I said.
Thank you for joining us so late in the episode, Al.
I think the Madden curse is doing its thing right now in Buffalo. I think that this year is going to be filled with a bunch of little things going on here and there. And then in a couple of years, they'll be back to being the little brother of the Patriots when Mac Jones is throwing 70-yard touchdown bombs to DeAndre Hopkins. So
all will be
perfect.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So I'm going to check real quick just to see any news maybe that broke while we were on. Nope. All I see is nothing. Same shit. Okay. Awesome. So, all right, guys. I thought we'd have a sign to talk about. Do you guys want to come back on if DeAndre Hopkins signs? Do you want to have a bonus one? Just a quick quick hitter one, kind of with our thoughts. Okay, yeah. So we'll do that. So if that happens, obviously check out the Tuck Rule Takes Twitter and Instagram. It's under the same name, Tuck Rule Takes. So we'll post it on there if we end up doing that. But until then, we'll see you next week. We're gonna get out of here before Al's internet kills us all. So for Liam,
for real.
Al, I'm Mike. Tuck Rule Takes 86. We're out.
My internet sucks. And get DeAndre Hopkins here.
He'll fix the Wi-Fi.
DeAndre Hopkins, let's go. Come on.